Can we do a quick mic check?
Yeah.
That was good?
All right, let's go.
You know, I was on TikTok this morning and I saw a video that was like a remix on Stacy's mom.
Oh, yeah?
Stacy's dad. Did you see it?
Vaguely. I don't think I watched it, though. Go ahead.
Stacy's dad has got me down bad. And I thought it was so funny. It was really well done.
Yeah.
They might release it. I don't know.
That's cool.
And it's completely independent of Stacy's mom. No inspiration was taken, so there's no lawsuit.
Well, it's a parody, right? So you don't get lawsuits for parodies. That's good.
But can you make revenue off parodies?
Good question. I think so, yeah. I mean, people make whole careers out of that. Weird Al Yankovic made a whole career out of parodies.
No idea who that is.
You don't know Weird Al?
No.
Oh my gosh. He did so many parodies.
Like
Eat It, like, you know, the Michael Jackson parody of Beat It.
Yeah.
Eat It. What were some other Weird Al parodies? Do you remember? Do you know Weird Al, Eddie?
I think I know Eat It. It sounds somewhat familiar.
Kind of
Yeah.
sounds like the Michael Jackson song Beat It.
That's it. Exactly. There's a lot of, I mean, I can't believe that's the only one that comes to mind right now, but there are a lot of Weird Al Yankovic hits. In fact, I have the album. I have the Greatest Hits album CD extended box set of Weird Al Yankovic.
Is that his real name?
Mm-hmm. You think he'd change it
Like
to Weird Al Yankovic?
Wait, like his first name is Weird.
No. His first name is Al.
Oh, he added Weird before.
I can't believe
His parents, when he was born, just like...
I failed as a
Look
father
at
to not
our
educate my
baby
kids
Weird.
on the
He looks weird.
classics. The classics. Oh, man. Well, maybe after this podcast, we can binge watch some Weird Al Yankovic videos.
Maybe.
And in the meantime, like maybe throughout the podcast, our research team over there on the other side could do some research and tell us some other snappy titles to jog my memory and take me down that trip to the past, memory lane.
Well, before we get to that riveting experience, how about we roll that intro music?
Let's do it.
Max and Dad's wholesome chaos. Max and Dad's wholesome chaos.
Hello and welcome to Wholesome Chaos, the podcast where we talk about real life in real time in a very, very real way to help each other and also to help you. We are so glad that you're listening today. If you can right now, take a moment to just go ahead and follow and subscribe so you can be part of the journey going forward. We are glad you are on this episode coming to you from sunny Los Angeles.
Yeah. My family's in town. It's my mom, my dad, and my brother, all in my studio apartment, which is so much fun.
Yes, indeed.
Yeah, we made a TikTok kind of joking about that and the fact that, you know, it's a studio apartment. It's a one room, one like real room, and so it's kind of hard to find some private spaces, but that's okay because we love each other and we're having a great time. They came in on Thursday.
First, let me just say it's been an interesting experience watching you in host mode because, like, you know, to see you kind of like a little bit anxious about us being here or like stuff we're leaving around and cleaning up after ourselves or like whatever. You're just kind of like very protective of your apartment, which I get it. It's just your space, but it's like funny for mom and I.
Yeah, and you're really thriving in the let's criticize the host role.
I guess I just started by defaulting to like, oh, let me help Maggie. This is her first time hosting us.
It's not my first time hosting, y'all.
No, you're right.
First time hosting me.
Yeah, first time hosting Eddie. But no, my hosting skills were first fully in effect when I drove to LAX twice in one day.
Yes. Many miles.
To first pick up my mom and brother.
But at least gas is cheap, so that's good.
Oh my gosh. Yeah, no. And then I drove back to grab my dad. And then we had a nice chill night. And then the next day, we did something really fun because it just so happened that my friend Josh, his family is also in town right now. His mom and dad and his brother and sister. And I was like, that's crazy.
And if you know TikTok, you probably know Josh too, because he and Maggie,
Josh.Morris one or
they
Josh
do
Morris
they
one.
do a lot of TikToks together, but also kind of like, you know, are in the same circles of friends and things. So they show up in each other's content quite frequently.
We did one TikTok maybe like a week or two ago in which it was so dumb. We were having like a movie night with some friends, and I had the audio that was a dog and a cat barking and meowing at each other.
Yes.
And I was like, hey, you want to do this?
To that song about the emo boy and emo girl?
It wasn't to that. But
what was the melody of that? Like, cause
I'm not gonna do it. It's just it was.
No, I mean, but what's it from? Is it from an actual song?
No, I think it's just a funny thing of like dogs and cats.
Okay.
Yeah. And so we were getting ready to do it, and I was like, obviously, I'm the dog. He was like, what? He was like, no, I'm the dog. I was like, Josh, no. you are so the cat. And it worked out really well. And that video got like over 2 million likes. And we were like, what the heck? Like we
2 million, like 2.2 million likes at last look. That's crazy. You touched a nerve, man. You spoke to the emotional needs of a generation in that video. I think it was really sentimental.
We can put in so much work to one TikTok that does not do well, and then we just bark and meow at each other, and people are like, this is comedy gold.
Comedy gold.
That was really interesting. But all that to say, Josh's family was in town.
And Josh and Maggie and other friends, including Jenna Rains?
Yeah, Jenna Rain,
musician.
my friend. Her parents were in town as well, and she was in town. And so I was like, crazy idea. Let's bring all of our families together and let's go play pickleball.
Because you guys have been getting pretty serious about pickleball.
We just really enjoy it. It's
super fun. We found a few different spots in LA that we like to play at. It's crazy how seriously other people take it, because we love to do it, but we're not like crazy, like intense about it. Some people there, oh my goodness, they're like,
it's a whole subculture, but you guys are interesting in your game because, you know, a lot of people like play real dinky games at the net where you try to get the angles and just those soft tap shots. You guys just smash it a lot.
Well, who plays like that if they want to win?
Well, you're right. If you can be good at smashing the ball, it's just a lower percentage
We don't smash
thing.
it every time.
Yeah, you're right.
That's the thing. You when you see a shot, you take it.
No, you guys are good. And Jericho and Mitch were there.
Yeah.
And they didn't have parents there. But what was funny is like, so there's this whole group of families. Our family, the four of us. There's Josh's family, which is, he had siblings in town and parents in town. And then Jenna's parents were there too. And it was like, they all brought us to the Beverly Hills pickleball court. And it's like, we had our own little private court. And you could tell the kids were all like, all right, our parents are here now. Here's our parents. Let's go play together. And like, I hope they have a good time. And it was very much like the role reversal of when parents had young kids and they're like, oh, we're friends. So we're going to get our kids together so that they can be friends. And then they could just play. And it's like, here you go, kids. Here's your new friends. I felt like that as a parent.
Yeah. No, and it felt like more of a safe option. It was like, just bond. Also, you got to stop moving so much. Your chair's squeaking like crazy.
I noticed you give me that look.
Do you see how much I've moved?
Yes, but I like moving. And so if you're listening, we're going to play a little game. You hear this chair? This is a very squeaky chair.
Your mic is also, like, the mic placement's different, so you kind of have to sit on the front, so you're, like, moving around more.
So I'm moving around. So we're making it work in Maggie's apartment, and it's a good little, sweet little setup. You can see it on YouTube and see kind of the chairs we're talking about. But yours squeaks too, right? Can you squeak your chair?
Nope.
Right.
I notice you are wearing my shirt right now because you want more clothes, because I feel like every single outfit that you wear, you're like, I've already worn this in a TikTok, or I've already worn this in a podcast. I have a solution.
Okay. I'm all ears.
And that solution is Stitch Fix. Sunnier days are here at last, and that means that your kid's closet might need an update. Sorry, I just realized this is about kids.
Yeah.
So
we do that. This is a favorite sponsor. They've been around for a while.
They also
Wholesome
do
Chaos
have
podcast.
an adult section, but this is specifically, we're highlighting the kids section.
Yeah, I've checked out the Stitch for adults.
Yeah.
It looks really cool.
Stitch Fix makes it easy with fresh options to let your kids' style shine, all within your budget.
Keeping up with your kids' growth spurts and changing tastes can be a challenge, so let the style experts at Stitch Fix help you out with easy options to fit their vibe and also to fit your wallet.
Stitch Fix Kids is the effortless way to get clothes that fit your kid and price range. Items start at just $10.
So here's how it works. With your feedback and input, the experts at Stitch Fix learn about your kids' taste, sending styles that's perfect for them and affordable for you.
Your kids can try on pieces at home before you buy. Just keep what they love and send back the rest. Plus, shipping, returns, and exchanges are always free.
From toddlers to picky tweens, Stitch Fix Kids has growth spurts taken care of with sizes 2T to 18.
There's no subscription required. Simply order a refresh as needed or set it and forget it with regular seasonal fixes. You're in control.
Try today at stitchfix.com/chaos and you'll get 25% off when you keep everything in your kids' fix.
That's stitchfix.com/chaos for 25% off when you keep everything in your kids' fix.
stitchfix.com/chaos.
You know, that would have been the perfect thing when Eddie was growing up because he was so tall and thin. I always had to order his clothes online. They did not carry them in the stores, so that would have been perfect. Wish it had been around when you was a little boy.
Oh, that was your chair. That was Maggie's chair. I heard it.
I finally moved for the first time.
I was going to suggest you guys switch places.
The other reason I love this ad is it's always a great, test for how well we're warmed up vocally because they have a lot of little tongue twisters.
Stitch Fix.
Stitch Fix Kids.
Picky tweens.
No, but that's great. They found a problem, man, and they're providing a solution. That's amazing.
You know, pickleball has not been the only game that we have been going crazy for lately.
That is true.
I have been
Obsessive? Is that the right word?
Okay, but you've been aiding in the obsession.
I've been helping, yes.
Okay,
for
so
sure.
You may be familiar with this game called Pong.
Pong.
Water Pong.
Mm-hmm. Water Pong.
Water Pong.
Which is the only version that we know and the only version that we play.
Yeah. And so
in this house.
Essentially, if you're not familiar, which I'm sure most of you are, you have cups across from you stacked in a triangle type of thing.
Solo cups, generally red, preferably, but no real preference there.
You're on the other side of the table with a ping pong ball, and you try and throw it into the cups, and there's a lot of different rules and things like that.
It's like air bowling.
Nope.
I mean, you set up the cups like a bowling alley kind of thing. There's 10 cups, 10 pins, and instead of trying to knock them down, you're trying to get the ping pong ball, in the cup. And knock out a pin, but you can't knock them all down at once. So never mind, it's nothing like bowling.
Well, I guess you technically can if it rolls around all of the cups and then goes in one. That's
Really?
a strike.
Oh, no, that's not.
Yeah,
that's not a rule.
If it rolls, along the line,
you take them all out.
Oh,
yeah.
But you
whatever.
said you played that way. So sometimes the rules vary depending on where you are. Because I had never heard that rule.
Really?
Yeah, it was kind of like. It doesn't really matter what it touches, whatever, when it goes in, gets out.
Your educational podcast, wholesomechaos.com.
But I ordered some Pong stuff a while ago because I was like, I think this would be so much fun to get so good at. Then in any setting that you're at where you're playing, you could just walk up and be the best person in the room. Mm-hmm. And I was like, that's such a cool power trip that I want. I want to be on that. And my dad and my mom had never played. And so
it's just weird because this is perfect. It's right up my alley, the kind of hand-eye coordination, physical game.
And he said that. He was like, because I was like, have you played? And he was like, no, but I think I'll be good at it. And I looked at him and I was like, I hope you're terrible. I was like, I know that sounds mean, but I was like, it's fun.
There's a learning
Reality
curve. I wasn't great at it immediately. What I didn't expect is throwing something as lightweight as a ping pong ball, especially when it's wet. There's a, what do they call it? The tension created between the water and your finger, so it kind of sticks to your finger a little bit.
Yeah.
When you throw it, little surface tension, that's it. And so you had to either avoid that or factor it into your throwing.
Yeah, I noticed.
I've gotten okay.
I noticed because I have acrylic nails on right now, which I usually never have acrylic nails. And I noticed sometimes it would get caught on the tip of my nail. I was like, no. But
Those
no,
are pretty long nails too.
They're a little bit grown out.
They would definitely complicate my life if I had those on.
They complicate my life. I swear it takes like 10 minutes to put on my jewelry now. It's like, why? But yeah, no, we've been playing so much.
Oh, yeah.
We
It's
said
like-
this morning, I was like, you know what I'd love to do? I'd love
Wake
to
up Pong. Let's
start
play
my
a game
game.
of Wake Up Pong.
Start my day with a game of Pong.
Yeah. Hey, if you don't start playing Pong in the morning, you can't play Pong all day.
It's true. I'm sure we'll play again probably after this.
That's true.
Trick shots. Oh my goodness.
Oh yeah.
We started doing some trick shots, and my first 3 trick shots I made
Yep. Over the head and under the leg twice.
over the head, like not even facing the cups.
Like not even looking. It's like right in the cup.
Made it, and then I made 2 under the legs. And then we've been just trying to do all different sorts of things, which have been fun.
Good clean fun. Good clean fun. And you're actually picking up dirt off the floor as you're going, so it's
Oh.
helpful.
It's been very informative about how
We've been-
dirty the floors are.
We are cleaning Maggie's apartment as we play. So little by little, game after game, that area is getting spotless. Yeah. Now this has been an amazing, wonderful trip, and I'm so proud of you. I just have to tell you this, Maggie. Watching you in your environment in 8 months you've been here, right? Mm-hmm. You have established such a strong group of friends, which we've mentioned before. Your community, we got to go to church with you. But then there's this whole level of just watching you interact with LA, driving around, navigating. I mean, there's a different style of driving, which you're like totally have adopted. Parallel parking a couple times, just like, nope, I got this, whipping it right in. And it's like, I can tell that you're so proud of like who you've become or who you're becoming in the process of independence.
Yeah, I'm trying to be a good person, and I think that's the cool thing about when you get older is you really realize you do get to choose the kind of person you are, and I'm enjoying that a lot, especially because there's so many different types of people here
Yeah.
that you never know what you're gonna get. It's like I'd like to be a nice person, but I remember because you guys visited me. Mom drove me out, and then you visited me earlier after I had moved here, and I was not comfortable driving.
No.
And now I'm so comfortable driving.
Almost mom thinks a little too comfortable
I'm
driving.
not comfortable with your driving.
I always check my blind spots when I change lanes. I think I'm a good driver.
Yeah, I do too.
Speed limits, I understand that you don't like it when I go a lot faster than the speed limit. I get that.
Or following too close for what I consider too close, which is the correct amount of space is what I believe. And you
I will say about following too close, there's a distance that if you give the proper amount of space, someone's going to immediately jump in front of you, and then you find yourself having it. I know that's
okay.
you're gonna have to keep slowing down and whatnot. But if you are
Maybe you should slow down.
keeping with traffic and alert, yeah, your experience may vary in terms of what's the right distance.
Yeah, I always say, and I told you guys this, I was like, somebody could be driving so crazy, like just obnoxiously, but if they use their blinkers, I'm like okay with it. But so many people don't use their blinkers. And so Mom said the other day when we were driving, because I always say hot guys use blinkers, and somebody didn't use their blinker, and she just goes, that guy, not hot.
Yeah, I do that in Atlanta now too. Since you said that, I've done that in traffic. Found myself going, well, you're not hot.
I say we start a movement. Just normalize it that hot guys use blinkers.
Hot guys use blinkers. I like it. And you got other ideas in mind for the same sticker series, right?
Yeah, I have a hot girls wear seatbelts one, but I haven't sold them or anything. I might start a Depop, and if I start a Depop, I'd probably sell them on there for cheap or just include them.
But you have the sample, you already have.
Yeah.
It worked up.
And then hot guys drive quiet cars.
Nice.
I like that one.
Hey, I want to say one more thing about your, the person you're becoming as well, in terms of giving you some props, because I don't think I mentioned this, but we were at the church, house church, group of people, tons of friends, tons of people, all your great group, just great people. And I had somebody come up to me introduce themselves, and he said, I don't know Maggie well. Like, she and I aren't close, but from everything I hear, she's an amazing friend.
Loyal was the word he used.
Wait, that's so sweet.
Yep.
Yeah. Like,
That
she's
is
so
a good
loyal.
word for
She's
you.
such
You
a
are
good friend.
loyal.
That is like, that makes my heart
forgiving.
so happy.
Me too.
Man.
That's why I wanted to share it, because I know it would resonate with the type of person you strive to become. Just since we're here, you're like, I've got to go bring my friend coffee. It's their birthday. It's like, you want to be the one who's always there for the people in your life and like own that quality.
I will say, I feel like a mom out here a little bit, just because so many of the people out here, it's like we all moved away from home to come out here. And so our families aren't out here. And so I think there's a very family-esque aspect, because you don't have your family out here. And so your friends are your next best thing. So I think it's important to kind of be their family. But yeah, no, that was I think I even said on this podcast, part of my 2022, like something I really wanted to focus on was just like being the best friend I could be. So that makes me really happy.
Yeah. We got a lot more to share about our trip, because we're just getting started in that regard. Plus, Eddie's going to give us some Weird Al Yankovic hits in just a second. But for now, let's talk about food, because the food here has also been good. You've taken us to some nice places, and you've cooked for us. And one of the most awesome ways that you can cook for yourself and always have the right meals around that'll make you happy, keep your family healthy, and satisfy your friends when they come over is to take advantage of a great partner like our sponsor, HelloFresh. They're just incredible.
HelloFresh delivers pre-portioned ingredients to your door, including farm-fresh produce that arrives within a week, so you get convenience without skimping on quality. So you can skip the trip to the grocery store, saving that wait time in the long lines, and ensuring that you don't waste money on excess food.
HelloFresh has fit and wholesome, I love that word, wholesome recipes for satisfying and nutritious meals that you can feel good about, with 6 recipes per week to choose from, including low-calorie and carb-conscious options.
Eddie and I have both used HelloFresh a good bit.
Yep.
And it's genuinely so relaxing for me to cook. I really enjoy like that winding down time, because I'm like being productive because I have to eat. But it's just like, it can be meticulous, or it can be like just like less meticulous. Like, it's however you want to do it. And it's so nice to have all the ingredients just like there.
Yeah.
Everything done.
I actually heard Eddie on this trip even say that's one of the ways I've learned to cook is HelloFresh. It's like they give you the ingredients, they take you through a recipe and make it maybe a little less intimidating than it would have been.
Oh, yeah. I mean, it just lays it all out for you, and it's like, don't worry. It's a lot of moving parts, but we got you.
We got you. So go to HelloFresh.com/16chaos and use the code 16chaos for up to 16 free meals and 3 free gifts.
That's HelloFresh.com/16chaos and use code 16chaos for up to 16 free meals and 3 free gifts.
America's ¡1 meal kit, HelloFresh. And if you missed that code, please go to wholesomechaos.com, or you can look at the liner notes. You can look at the show notes in the link for this particular podcast, and we put the links there too. But no, go to wholesomechaos.com and you can see all our sponsors there. And when you support our sponsors and use that code, it's also in a way kind of supporting us, because you're showing them that you value their relationship, and it's a thank you to them for their support of this show, which you love and care about. And of course, we love that, and we love you. So thank you. So Eddie, tell us about some Weird Al Yankovic tunes. Lay them on us.
Okay. So, the ones that you guys might know is Amish Paradise.
Oh, yes.
Or
Nope.
White and Nerdy. That's the only one okay.
So what's it a parody of? White and Nerdy. What's the song? Like Eat It is Beat It from Michael Jackson.
Riding
My
Dirty?
Bologna is from My
that's
Sharona.
Riding Dirty.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that's why some of them
And Amish Paradise is, you know that one?
Yeah.
What is the name of the song?
Gangster Paradise?
Gangster Paradise, yes.
And he did Another One Rides the Bus.
Another One Rides the Bus.
I thought we made that up when we were kids.
No. Weird Al.
We used to say that. I don't know.
Yeah, he was big when I was in middle school and high school.
There's a lot that I don't. There's like I love Rocky Road, Perform This Way,
Rock and roll. So,
Rocky
There's
Road.
one called Fat, which I don't
yeah.
know what that.
Yeah, we don't know what song.
It's bad. Michael Jackson bad.
Oh.
Oh,
All right.
that's
Well,
right.
Yeah.
Okay.
and he's also credited for writing the Captain Underpants theme song.
Well,
No kidding.
interesting.
The more you know.
It's amazing to me that he like when he came out, I thought, all right, this guy's just a flash in the pan, but then he continued to stay relevant for a long
Flash
time.
of the pan.
A flash in the pan. That means like a fad, like a short-term hit. But no, Weird Al has stood the test of time. Okay. So
Moving on.
Back to our trip. Where do you want to take us next in this amazing adventure?
We could talk about how good you are at texting.
At texting? I'm now okay. Again, a little role reversal moment here.
Yeah, I was gonna say, you always harp on us about like poor communication. You're like, you need to lock in times. You need to call them.
Get specificity. I've talked about this on the podcast before about how very often your generation leaves out some details. So we were trying to connect with some very good friends of ours, Mariah Emoto and Heath Hussar, and we love them and we see them if we can every time we're in town. But so Heath and I were texting, and you and Mariah were communicating, and he said, "Yeah, I've got a window of time tomorrow," and we figure it out because they're very busy people, and we're here for doing our own thing, and so we picked a time, and he said 12 or 1. And then if the 12 was the first time he gave me, and then he said or 1 question mark, which I was assuming meant that's actually better for us. Like he'd talk to Mariah. and his-
Assuming
Assumptions.
with no supporting evidence.
Yes, no
And so
evidence.
we're literally there.
And
They're
I
standing outside their house.
at 1:00.
And I'm like, text him over here. And like,
Yeah, and they were there.
they were there.
They were there, but they apparently had been waiting like a while for us to be there.
Had they?
Well, I don't know.
You didn't say.
We still never
We still
confirmed.
know. Yeah.
We never confirmed, but they were there, and he came out, and we were walking to lunch, and I said, "Yes." So did you mean 12 or did you mean 1? He was like, "I meant either. I meant like whatever works best for you." I was like, "Okay."
But you
Which
didn't,
is-
you didn't communicate,
Yeah.
confirm. And
Yes.
That's one of my biggest
Well,
pet
but neither-
peeves is
it was-
not assuming.
Oh,
Exactly.
yeah.
A
For-
conversation, a
clear.
phone call would have totally cleared that.
It's
up.
always like for me, that is a big deal. Is picking a time, sticking to the time.
Me too,
and not
though.
changing
Exactly.
the time.
It's
Yeah.
a big deal
But
for me
it's-
too. I
it's
just
a two-way street.
yes.
Both parties have to work on it. Yeah, for me, a huge pet peeve is when people are late.
That was an epic visit.
It was really fun, yeah.
It was.
I because I came from Cabo, which we didn't even talk about Cabo on this podcast, but that was incredible. This journey down there to Mexico to do the speech, and normally when I do speeches in different cities in the U.S., I ship all of my props ahead of time. So I have numbers of cases that have unicycles and bowling balls and knives and some of the larger, more cumbersome props that you don't want to travel with. And that way I don't have to check a bag and it's just waiting for me at the venue. But when you're going internationally, that's much more problematic. And it's because you can't ship internationally, it's way more expensive. And I've had like cases lost overseas in Spain. And I'm like, okay, what am I going to do? But so anyway, point being, I had all my props with me because I brought them back from Mexico to meet you here. 6-foot unicycle. I had all my juggling props, clubs and contact juggling and knives and bowling ball and like the whole thing. So we got to play.
The bowling ball.
Yeah, that was great.
That was great.
Yeah, no, it was a really good visit. It's always a fun time with them. Good food too.
And
Had some good
Heath
food.
picks up everything quickly. They both
Yeah,
do.
Yeah, they're both amazing.
We were teaching all these skills, unicycling. Maggie brought over her ball, which they both loved.
Yeah,
Like they both are.
It's fun.
They're gonna get one.
It's the rolling globe is what that is. If you just say Maggie brought over her ball, people might not know what that means.
Yeah, her rolling globe is basically a circus prop. It's a big hard ball, the target ball stuff, is what it looked like. But you stand on it and you walk around on it, and balance on it.
Yeah.
And they both picked that up pretty well.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. He jumped right up on it.
Yeah, some people just got
amazing.
it. Some people literally, it's harder with the unicycle. I think the unicycle is a lot harder.
Definitely.
But with the ball in particular, some people just got it. They can just jump up and they're like, yeah, no, this makes sense.
Rollerball the same way.
Not to brag, but that was kind of how it was for me because I think I learned how to ride the unicycle, and that took forever. Yeah. And then I remember I never really learned how to do the ball. There's one.
You just do it. Yeah.
I just jumped on top of it, and then I was like, oh, okay, I got it.
Yeah.
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 Kind of same. I don't really remember
Well,
learning it.
And you
Yeah.
did that yesterday. Like you hadn't done this.
Yeah.
I know you haven't done
Years.
this in years.
Yeah.
And you just come running at it like a champ with almost like your hands in your pockets, so laid back and relaxed. And you just jump on this thing over the concrete and you just are going. I'm like, that's my boy. Oh, yes, son. I loved it. I loved watching you do that.
You would have been happy if our kids ran away and joined the circus, wouldn't you?
Most definitely.
Man.
So what are we going to bring next time to teach them?
That's the thing. We're out.
No. There's always more.
We're out of cool
Knives,
things.
fire.
Fire. We haven't done fire.
He
Oh,
showed a lot of
yes.
Knives.
Yeah, he did.
No, he didn't.
No.
Well, he saw the knives, but
Heath
He
didn't,
was
but
working
Dad
on
did.
clubs.
I juggled the knives on the
Yeah.
6-foot
Yeah,
unicycle.
talking
you
about-
should probably learn clubs before knives.
Yes,
Yes.
definitely. Kids. If you're going to be juggling knives at home, don't.
Yeah.
Juggle the clubs first, flip them, get used to them. And then if you ever do decide to juggle the knives, which
don't.
Which we don't. Again.
don't. But the way I did it, that you won't do it
Under
because you shouldn't do
supervision,
it.
Adult supervision.
No, the way I juggled knives. Okay, the story. The first time I ever performed with knives was I was a senior in high school. Oh no, I was a sophomore in high school. I just moved to Georgia, and so I went from Chicago to Georgia. I already had a show, and I decided there was a high school talent show. I thought that's great because I've got a show. I don't know anybody, so I'll do my show, and then I'll know a lot of people. And so I decided I was going to do
Which is a great move. Very
these.
smart.
Yeah, it was real smart. So I decided I was going to do the fire finale at the end, but Brookwood, for some reason, didn't want me to juggle fire in their auditorium.
What?
And they said, no, you can't do that. Well, I just bought these machetes, but they're not just normal machetes. They're huge knives with a hook on the back end. They're cane machetes. They're used for going through jungles and clearing brush. Yeah. And I had 3 of them. They're totally sharp. I was like, I guess that's my finale. And I got to figure this out by tonight. And so I taped the blades with duct tape, several layers of duct tape. And that way I could just get used to juggling the knives first. And then psychologically, it was easy for me to make that step from, all right, I've done it. I've done it with that. It's like a safety harness or like a net, you know? And then I can remove the tape. It shouldn't be any different. So.
And was it a bleeder?
No, it was a good one.
Yay.
I did it. I had a lot of friends. That was actually the night I met Philip for the first time.
Right. I remember that story.
Yeah.
You
'cause-
knew you could do it because you had already done it before.
Exactly.
Yes.
Which leads us into
Yes.
Universal.
Oh my goodness. All right. Little backstory on this one, everyone. So, all my kids' lives, I've been promising them that I would take them to Universal Studios
They're now
in Florida.
40.
Yes, exactly. And have never followed through on that promise. Not because I'm a promise breaker. I think one of my strong suits is you strive to be a good friend. I strive to always keep promises. And so in our family, sometimes we don't talk about it as necessarily, breaking a promise or you told me we would be doing this. There's just a reality, shifts, rapidly shifting reality in our lives. Mm-hmm. So it's hard to sometimes predict what we're going to be doing 3 days from now because so much has to happen first.
I'd also say that the times we did have a possibility to go, we were like, okay, Disney or Universal. We chose Disney.
Yeah.
Yeah, and we haven't been to Disney actually in probably 10 years.
Or we chose circus.
trips. Yeah.
Sometimes we would go go fly trapeze or something.
Which was a lot cheaper.
So everybody was kind of included on those decisions. Anyway, so we made the promise come to life this trip by going to Universal Studios Hollywood. Instead of doing the Florida version, we did the California version of Universal Studios, which is a little bit more condensed, because it's a smaller platform. But they have the Harry Potter experience, which it was like seeing Eddie become 12 years old again.
They have that crazy Hagrid ride.
Yeah.
That's actually, it's less than 30 seconds.
Yeah.
That Flight of the Hippogriff.
I timed it.
Oh, did you?
Thankfully we
30.
did that ride second, and we did the other one first, which was great.
The Harry Potter one.
So fun.
That brought a
the
tear to my eye.
forbidden journey.
Yeah.
You said it brought a tear to your eyes?
Mine.
Oh.
Mine. Yeah.
Yeah, no, it's really cool. And I had ridden that once before during Hollywood Horror Nights. And it messed with me. Like, I did not feel good after because of all the screens and everything. And then when we rode it, I actually really enjoyed it the first time. Where I was like, this is great. I feel great. Yeah. Then we decided to ride it a second time. Mm-hmm. And that time didn't feel so good.
I loved it more the second time for some reason.
You know what? Me too. And that was weird because I was feeling kind of queasy all day. That's the one thing I'm noticing about getting older is roller coasters just hit different. Like they mess with your equilibrium.
Right.
Plus that butterbeer probably didn't help. That was
The butterbeer was way too sweet.
It was
But we had to do it just because it's part of the Harry Potter experience, I guess, in Hogsmeade.
Hogsmeade.
Hogsmeade?
Yeah,
Yep.
absolutely. So I loved about that ride, the Flight of the Hippogriff, the way they transitioned in and out of the visuals. Like you're going underneath
Not
the
the Hippogriff one. The Forbidden.
Oh yes, the Forbidden Journey. So you're going like underneath the Whomping Willow, and it's a real physical thing, a mechanical thing that's kind of coming at you with these limbs.
Yeah.
And you turn to duck it, and immediately are into a screen. But the transition, there's some elements that they put in the video that make it look like it's seamless.
Yeah.
Yeah.
My favorite ride, though, of the day was the Mummy one.
Yeah.
That ride was just so well done, and it was fast. It was good. And
Like, that spooked me multiple times. I feel like a seasoned roller coaster rider, and there were a couple times where my heart, like, stopped.
I loved it.
My favorite was probably the Jurassic Park water ride.
That one was good, too.
It was awesome.
It was just being nice out in the open and being on the water. Everybody got a little bit wet. It was a beautiful day, beautiful sunny day. And then
Then it goes pitch black.
And then it goes pitch black. And then no spoiler alerts, but there's a big surprise at the end that's actually quite cool.
Yeah, those dinosaurs, they looked real.
great. Yeah.
Yeah. I wish we rode that one another time.
I know.
Harry Potter's
yeah.
still my favorite.
Also to mention that Josh's family was also at Universal the same day we were. So again, we got to hang out with them. I feel like we've got like old friends.
There was a
up
time
in New Jersey.
period-
We can go visit anytime we want.
Even though they didn't invite us, we just
No, they invited me.
Oh, okay.
Maybe not you, but they invited. No, they invited us.
I remember them saying, like, they're going to Universal, and I was like, that sounds awesome. We should probably do that. And then it just was like, okay, guess we're going with you guys.
That's what I said too. I was like, oh yeah, let's go. Okay, when are you going? Let's go.
But
Well,
there was a time period where all of you guys were in Hogsmeade, and it was just me and his family. And just hanging out. I was like, I don't know where my family is, but this is fun.
Yeah, they are fun.
And we did the Minions ride, which was really weird. Josh and I used the fast passes, so we went ahead of them. And right before, they played like a 10-minute video or something where they're like, this is so fun, like getting you ready, because it's like, you're gonna become a minion. And the guy on the walkie or whatever was like, by the way, it's Marissa's birthday, so when you walk in, when everyone throws their hands up, everyone go, we love you, Marissa. And then, like, right before we actually went in, he was like, and remember to tell Melissa you love her. And he was like, oh, I mean Marissa. Hands up, and everyone goes, Marissa, we love you. And so we walk in, everyone goes their hands up. Nobody says nothing. And then, like, 5 seconds later, people are like, we love you, Marissa. Like, it was so awkward. But then, flash forward, Josh's family was in the next group. And then after we asked him, we were like, did they tell you to, like, tell the girl happy birthday? And they're like, oh, Melissa? Yeah. But he was like, yeah. And they said, like, happy birthday, Melissa.
Oh my gosh.
And we were like, what? is happening?
That's a cool psychological experiment because it's kind of like they introduced that one seed of doubt, and then the audience is like, "Screw it, I don't know her name. I'm not going to use it."
No,
Like,
also,
I'm not 100% sure.
I don't think people, even if there wasn't the doubt, it was just kind of a weird thing.
Yeah.
But
So she was the ride operator.
It was
one of them.
Okay.
It was in Silly Goofy Funland, so you know.
Super silly Funland,
Oh, Super Silly Funland.
which wasn't as super silly or fun as I thought it was.
I think he was flirting with Melissa. I think
Marissa.
or Melissa.
So all day.
I think it was
He
Melissa.
keeps sending
Yeah,
every
different
single
names.
group. Keeps saying happy birthday.
And she's like, "Leave me alone,
Yeah,
please
tell
stalk her."
Happy birthday, Madison. No, it was wild.
Happy birthday.
So back to Josh's family. Jordan, who he has done a lot of videos with as well, and Emily are his siblings that we met. They're fantastic, and the invitation included Eddie. If you ever get up there, Jordan wants to show you the soundboard at his. He's like, we got such cool audio equipment.
Absolutely.
He said there's all these toys that like really high end that most people don't know how to use, but
Oh yeah, I'd love to do that.
you would totally dig it. So if you're ever in New Jersey.
Yeah, during that same period of time where I was away from you guys, Scooby-Doo came back out. Remember we had seen Scooby-Doo?
Yeah.
And so I was like, I want my picture with Scooby-Doo.
Nice.
There's no quite feeling
No quite.
like, no feeling quite like hugging a Scooby-Doo and just the complete realization that is a man inside that suit. Like,
It's like he's anonymously hugging you.
yeah.
That's weird when you think about it that way.
And most of the characters there that are in suits, like Hello Kitty was behind a red rope, like in a little box, like you couldn't touch her. You could just take pictures with her, and I was like, well, why is this guy out? Like, why is this guy out and real excited about hugging everyone?
It totally is different. Like when we saw Doc or like Marilyn Monroe, like they're people dressed up as actors, and you can like see them, but it's different when they're hiding behind a suit.
And here's my idea is like, as a kid and like I imagine that Scooby-Doo actually is like a big hugger, you know?
Mm-hmm.
It's like very like, like I love you and everything.
But it's interesting.
Yeah.
The other with the characters, there was a Transformer character on a stilt walker.
Yeah.
A stilt walker in this amazing like mechanical Transformer
It was
costume.
Optimus Prime
with a modulated voice, deep like vocal effects and stuff like that. But it was all done by the actor who was walking the stilts, and it was cool because Mom and I invented, actually Mom's suggestion, Robo Stilts, which was a 10-foot tall stilt walking character back in the day when I did entertainment. That Philip and I did that, and we had the same similar concept. This is pre-Transformers with a modulated voice and stuff like that. So I'm watching this guy going, in another lifetime, that would be me, you know, once upon a day.
When you got those the purple stilts, they were so cool. And I was like, please.
Bigfoot stilts.
Yeah, please don't cover those up. You can make a character, and the movie RoboCop had come out. And I was like, you just be like a robotic robo-stilt, you know? And then you guys later called it that. But that was like 2 years later before you did that, and you forgot
You could throw some of those pictures. Yeah, you can throw some of those pictures in the YouTube version.
I've got an original one where I bought you some really sad costumey plate things, and you did it once or twice before you and Philip really went full on into the.
Oh, dude, we got serious. We got motorcycle helmets that we had like chromed and everything. Like we created a cool costume,
You guys have a video game.
but we.
I played that.
They definitely outdid us though at Universal Studios. That was way better. Way better.
I did not realize it was a person at first. I thought it was totally animatronic. And I literally even said, I was like, it's going to be so cool when technology gets to the point where like these guys can just like walk around the park and stuff like that. Turns out they can because they're people.
But then they're going to transform into cars, and that's going to be wild.
Yeah. So Eddie got his wand finally, and it was one of the interactive ones. So we were doing the Hogwarts thing, and
it was amazing.
And he was like in his element and loving it. Got a collectible wand, and then we're tired,
I was so tired.
Sleep has been sketchy. Like our sleep schedules are still way out of sync. I'm always, even at home, the first one up and the first one to bed. Well, here, the fact that we're on West Coast time, that's almost exacerbated because you guys have a better ability to sleep in and adjust for time zones. I'm up at 4:30, 5 o'clock. And so I'm just waiting around going, they're going to be ready soon? Can I come down there? And, can I come? I just kind of stay out of your way to keep you guys sleeping. But anyway, we finally were like, should we go? Should we just leave? It's like 5 o'clock or almost 4. It was like 4 o'clock. Mm-hmm. I was like, no, not without doing the studio tour.
Had you done that before?
I had.
You done the one here?
You had.
But I knew you guys hadn't. And what's cool is you didn't have any expectation of what it was going to be. I did. I was like, no, you got to do the studio tour because this is the thing that Orlando Universal does not have. I mean, they make some movies like there and they've kind of replicated a studio experience, but this is the place.
Yeah, and it was my favorite part. I thought it was so cool, man.
Yeah. So tell everybody what that is and what it's all about, what it's like.
So you get on this bus.
Tram,
which is electric. Yeah, which is really cool. We're like, let's go. And they drive you around the Universal lot, which is this little quaint, small little. No, it's
small
crazy how big it is. It's legitimately a city. Like people say Universal City. I didn't know it was an actual city, but it turns out it is.
Yeah.
And there's so many different lots where they had some of the doors open a little bit where people were like working and you could kind of see in and see a set and you're just like, that's so cool. That's so cool. I've never worked on a set that's in a studio. Any set I've worked on has always been like on location. Which honestly I think helps a lot actually in like an actor's mindset because like you're actually in a house and stuff like that, but I was like, that's so cool to work on a studio. Like that's definitely a goal of mine. But we saw that, we saw a bunch of the studios, and then they start driving you through the outdoor sets, which was like Back to the Future.
So wild.
That's what I fangirled the most about, I think.
Yeah.
Because I love Back to the Future.
And also, it's like, you'll see that one building, the courthouse that they use in Back to the Future, and it's not just in Back to the Future, it's in, like, every movie ever. It's the same courthouse that they use over and over and over and over again, but you just never notice.
Back to Kill a Mockingbird, kind of like an older film, and Bruce Almighty, other...
And they showed like in different movies, and like some of them there was like a lake in front of it, and I'm like, what?
Oh yeah, Back to the Future too.
How did we get a lake there? But so cool. And then also The Good Place, The Good Place City was so cool, and like the train station. Yeah.
The tram experience, the tour has gotten so much better, honestly, since I did it years ago. Like I remember doing it when I was younger. I don't know the first time I was ever in Universal. But it was a long time ago. They did have, like, you pull around a corner and there's that street scene that goes all the way up, and then like they flip a switch and a flood, like this raging flood comes down the street and explodes in all this water. It's like, they had some of that stuff. Like he pointed out the bridge that you used to go over this bridge, and then it would start to collapse and freak everybody out. That's out of service. But what they have added now in terms of like these sound stages, you just drive through a sound stage, and they've used like in a couple places, they've used the entire sound stage to create the experience for the tram.
Yeah.
Like you're in the film.
Yeah, you're in a film.
It's so cool.
Yeah, like you can tell that the digital and practical VFX artists had like the biggest field day doing this.
They had so much fun.
You can't even like put into words. I was so blown away.
Yeah.
So blown away.
Yeah, the water was crazy. The rushing water. Wild. Man. And I don't know. It's
not just that though. Yeah. Like I don't even know if I should say it because I don't want to spoil the experience.
Yeah, it's just well worth it. If you ever get there, make sure you do the studio tour.
Yeah. It'll make you feel like you get more of your money's worth.
You can skip the hippogriff.
We got a great guide. We got a great guide.
Miles, the tour guy on Instagram.
Miles, the tour guide
out,
on
Miles.
Instagram. Yeah, go check out Miles. He's awesome. Like, you could just tell some people take their job extremely seriously and with a great deal of like pride and professionalism. But I felt like we got lucky.
Flawless.
Thank you, Miles.
Yeah. I do feel like the other thing that like hit me weird cool was the Wild West sets. Because I'm not one to like have watched old westerns. I've seen like a few maybe, but just knowing that those sets are so old and like that's where they were filmed.
That's where Clint Eastwood started working.
Yeah.
Like when he first got into it.
Like, isn't
And they're
that so
still
cool?
using those sets, like on the Quentin Tarantino movie, Once Upon a Time in Hollywood. Like,
yeah.
like that was, they shot
Or
scenes
Nacho
there.
Libre.
Yeah.
And you can put the pieces together in your mind. You're like, I remember that movie, and yeah, that's there, or whatever. It's like very interesting. But it also made you want to go watch movies.
Yeah.
Like when we got back, we were like, we got to watch some Universal movies.
The Bates Motel, we saw that too.
Yeah.
And the house that's like the house on the hill. I don't know, just
The Psycho.
The Psycho
is
House.
the movie. The Psycho House. Norman Bates, and and so I want to tell something about that. So again, not to spoil it, but there's this. You go in front of the Bates Hotel, which is the hotel, the set that they used for that, and this guy comes carrying out a body from the hotel room, puts it in the trunk of a car.
I didn't even see the body. I
Right.
saw the man so late.
And the tour guide is like, oh, what's that going on? Oh, I guess he's taking it. You know, it's this bloody body. He puts it in the trunk, closes the trunk, and he gets a knife, and he comes after the train a little bit in character, and he just kind of watches and follows us as we drive away. But the thing I kept thinking about was, that's that dude's job.
Yeah.
He does that all day long. And then he goes and opens the trunk and puts it back and gets ready for the next train and brings the body back out and comes out and, like over
Josh
and
and
over.
we commented about that because they went on the tour not at the same time as us though, and we were like, I want one day just like it'd be like one of our friends like Mitch or something, and you just see Mitch there and you're like, wait a minute, this is what you do on weekends? Like sick.
I bet a
He
lot
says
of them
like,
are
oh
actors.
yeah, I work at Universal, and you, little do you know, he is Norman Bates.
That'd be a fun
We
job.
saw a dance show or like a performance at Hogwarts, which was from like Goblet of Fire. It had the guys from Durmstrang, and the girls from Beauxbaton.
I don't know. That's
Beauxbaton.
how Dumbledore said Beauxbaton in the movie. I'm pretty sure. So
Beauxbaton.
That's why I say it. but
In the book, I thought it was.
it's
Beauxbaton.
probably Beauxbaton. I don't know.
We'll ask JK what she says, and then she'll say, and we'll say no, JK. Just kidding. They were great though. They were great dancers. Like my point is, there's amazing performers there. The only thing that let us down a little bit for me was the food, but maybe we just didn't hit the.
I
right spot.
liked
We
the
should've
vegan
gone to
corn
the
dog.
Three Broomsticks, man.
Yes,
I'm telling you.
Eddie wanted us to eat at the Three Broomsticks, and
They
you were
had
right.
like platters of sausages and salads and like because we could have made it work for sure. Like they had tons of like salads.
And it's just a
stuff.
cool space.
Yeah.
With the architecture of like.
Oh,
Yes.
Next time.
time for sure. But actually, speaking of next time, I was watching you, Maggie, as we were driving around, and we were getting toward the end of the tour, and I looked over at you and I said, I think if I'm guessing right, like somebody right over here has a new goal, because I could tell you were, if I was in your shoes as an actress who is starting to work on movies and such, you're thinking driving around. Yeah, I'm going to be out here, right?
I want to work here.
I want to work here.
I thought you wanted Miles' job. I don't think she wants that job, buddy.
No.
She's going to be an amazing studio tour guide. Like, she'll be on the mic. No.
I'd just get distracted. It'd be like 5 minutes of silence. I'd be like, sorry guys.
Are you guys still here? Yeah, that's funny. No, but then you said to me, like, I don't want to take this.
Yeah, I was like, I don't want to go on this tour again until I film something on this lot. Yeah.
Nice.
It's a good goal.
Yeah.
Well, I hope you get to take the tour again very, very soon.
Yeah, that'd be cool.
So I hope you enjoyed that, everyone. That's a little bit of an update from our exciting time here at Maggie's Place in Los Angeles. we didn't get to any questions on this particular podcast, but we'd love to hear from you and find out more about what's going on in your life. Any topics you'd like us to address on this show and talk about, feel free to submit those at wholesomechaos.com. Submit a question there. You can watch some videos. You can also learn more about our family and download some tools to use for your family as well. And by tools, I mean like a guide for better communication. So,
yeah, and maybe a new guide about text communication. I'll write that one. I'll write that one for sure. No, but yeah, thank you guys so much for listening. We really do appreciate it, and we'll see you guys next week.
Thanks. Love you, Maggie.
Love you.
Love you, everyone.
Love you too.
And love you at home. Take care. Talk to you next week.
Bye.
Max and Dad's wholesome chaos. Max and Dad's wholesome chaos.
I was on the radio. We didn't talk about it.
Oh, okay.
That's okay. I was on the radio, and I did this thing where I spoke.
Yeah, you were like a DJ.
Nope. You guys keep saying that. I was a guest host.
You were a guest host.
She was a guest host on SIRIUS
XM.
XM,
Hits one,
and you
they're
introduced it to me in the car.
Yeah.
And I was so surprised, and I reacted in such a big way.
So surprised. I gotta
Are you
post
gonna put that?
footage.
Are you gonna post that today?
I don't know. I'll work on it.
Okay.
That was fun. If you didn't hear it, I'll give you a little sneak peek of the past. You ready?
You ready?
Ready? Hey guys, this is Wholesome Chaos Podcast. I hate this. Never mind. I hate where this is going. Cut that last bit.
Wingardium Leviosa. Nox.